As you can see from these reference photos, the leaf is the one element that is used the most in classic carvings. Okay, you will probably be very hard pressed to find some carved furniture without any leaves at all. As you can see, there are literally hundreds of styles and variations of these leaves, and it probably would be unreasonable to try to recreate them all exactly as they are in your references. So what I would suggest you do is you create a small library of some basic leaf shapes for the most common types, and those are the acanthus. Okay, this is probably the acanthus. Same here. The laurel leaves, like this here. Okay, some acanthus again, some laurel again. Some centerpieces for the acanthus leaves, like this one. Again, some acanthus, acanthus. Then you can make a few grape leaves and some oak leaves as well. And those should have you covered for pretty much most of the commonly seen carvings. So the main thing we're going to focus on is the acanthus, since it's used in, I think, maybe 90% of all classic ornaments. These little leaves, they are all supposed to be the acanthus. Right, let's look at some examples and see how we can break the ornament down into some elements. For example, here's a large complicated leaf, but if you make it from a few simple leaves, putting them together, it's going to be much easier to create. So for example, you can make one small leaf like this, one larger leaf, then you can copy those small leaves a couple of times, and finally you need another type of leaf with a curl at the top for this top piece. And you can reuse, for example, this small piece over here, and nobody's going to see if it's slightly different from your reference, as long as it's going to look similar enough. Let's look at some more examples. So for example, here you can use maybe two types of leaves, one with a curl and one regular leaf, and just scale it and slightly modify the shape and mirror it upwards to create the whole thing. So you have to learn how to break down those leaves into some elements. Okay, let's look at this drawing. And again, you can just make one leaf, copy, scale larger, same for these. And basically you can get away with some maybe 4 types of leaves altogether to create most of the commonly seen elements. And if you look closer at any of these examples, you can see that you can do the same thing here. Just one leaf here, the same leaf here, same here, same here, just maybe modify the vertices a little bit to stretch them out and make them longer. So all these side leaves can be made from a single basic template leaf. And you just have to add these top leaves with some different curls. Okay, so 3 types of leaves could make this whole thing easily. And for the grape leaves or something similar, you can just make one leaf, and if it's needed you can adjust the shape slightly by moving some vertices, rotating some parts, and you can reuse it to create this whole thing, and you don't have to model each leaf separately.